Well, I'm going to discuss a bit of stuff about Sean Strickland, because he's been involved in some kind of road rage incident, and it was quite, for anyone who's seen the actual sound clip, it was quite mental, to be totally honest. So, like, someone tweeted on Twitter there was some kind of sound recording. I don't know if Strickland recorded it himself. He must have done. But basically, he was sitting in his car and he was all drunk, and he was sort of like, he just comes out and starts saying random shit. Like, he was basically asking a guy in another car to fight him. Like, I don't know, I would guess that he was quite intoxicated. But then he was basically like, roll down your window, no guns, no knives outside. And he was trying to get the guy to fight him. It was fucking hilarious. Obviously, he's got quite a controversial past. You know, I think he's had some other incidents. I think he was a former neo-Nazi as well. So obviously there's a lot of people who've jumped on this, but to be quite honest with you, it's not a big deal. Don't really think the UFC will do anything about it. It's just him shouting at some random geezer. Like, I don't think he'll even be fined for it. Like, if you think about it, people have done a lot worse shit. Like, John Jones got a fucking laundry list of things that are worse than that he's done. So I don't think that Sean Strickland is going to get in any kind of trouble for this. If anything, it might add to his popularity, and I don't mean that in like a negative way. Well, it is going to be in a negative way, but what I mean is that I think some people will start to dislike him because they'll think he's just sort of an angry sort of American guy, or just an angry redneck type geezer who just wants to, like, just the angry guy at the bar that wants to start fights. And I actually think it might be quite good for his career, because it will make him a little bit more popular, whereas at the moment I feel like he's potentially missing that edge. So I actually think this is good for Sean Strickland. You know, I hope there's not kind of any underlying alcohol issue there, that's all I would say. Reason being just because he's doing really well in the middleweight division. Like, he just beat Uriah Hall. It was a really good performance, and like, his fighting style is just nuts. Like, the way he just keeps moving forward, he doesn't take a backward step. Like, even though he doesn't do anything sort of that flash, he's just constantly throwing that 1-2 in people's faces, and I just love to see it. It's so basic, but it just works, and people can't really stop it, it seems. So he's one of those fighters that I actually want to see him do well, because I want to see how far that can take him, just walking forward and throwing a 1-2. You know, he's got a pretty good shoulder roll on him, but he's got a very boxing orientated style, so I'd quite like to see how far he can go with that. Obviously he's got a good ground game, but he mostly uses that defensively. So I want to see how far he can actually go with that style. So I really hope that nothing, you know, I don't think the UFC is going to do anything to punish him. It's just whether there's some kind of alcohol issue there. Because I know that he said in the past, you know, he's always looking for a fight on Friday night. I hope that's not alluding to some kind of drink or drug issue. Because he did sound very intoxicated on that voice message that was posted to Twitter. Like I say, I just wanted to do a quick one. Thank you very much for listening. Let me know your thoughts on Sean Strickland, both as a fighter and on this incident. I think he's fantastic. I want to see him fight sort of Vettori and, you know, Whittaker, Gastelum, Cannonier. I want to see him come up against some of those guys. Like, I think he's got a really interesting style of fighting that I don't think we really see very often in the UFC, because most people are not quite that boxing orientated, and when they are, it's a lot more about power. You don't really see people just walking people down and throwing 1-2s anymore. It's a bit of a throwback in some ways to like what Nick Diaz used to do, if that makes sense. So, as always, please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you like the content I'm providing. But let me know what you think about Sean Strickland.